Ever wondered what happens when a police patrol uncovers a horrifying scene?
And with weapons drawn, officers cautiously pop the trunk and...
But what about when a routine traffic stop takes a deadly turn? In a narcotics investigation on May 4th, Houston police stopped 23-year-old Jimmy Bryan at a gas station on the Gulf Freeway. But what was about to come next left them highly disturbed.
I definitely got his expedition was speed out of the parking lot. Spun his tires. They're lit up, still on the service road, passing the McDonald's. It's coming, he's slowing down.
He is not moving around.
The officers were closing in on the black truck, ready to handle the situation as any officer would, until suddenly everything took a turn for the worse. A twist so deadly and chaotic that it left several injured and one dead.
What's up, brother? Hey, how we doing? You in park? Is this your truck? Yes, sir. How long you been having it? Since how long? 2018. All right, you got a driver's license on you, buddy? Where you headed to?
Right now,
what?
I'm gonna go get a hotel.
Oh, all right, where at?
I'm not sure yet. Well, I was gonna take some of my stuff to storage.
Okay. You got any weapons in here, brother?
Yes.
Okay. Is that an ankle monitor?
Yes, sir, it is. GPS mom out on block.
Officers McMurtry and Sally approached Bryan's vehicle for a routine stop. It can be seen on McMurtry's body cam that he asked Bryan for an ID, but he subverted this question. Even after repeatedly asking about the ID, Bryan seemed to act suspiciously, so the officer asked him if he was carrying any weapons, to which he promptly replied no. This is when McMurtry noticed an ankle monitor on Bryan.
I'm telling you to take off your seatbelt and step out. Why don't we do this? Put your hands. All right. Partner, are you good? God damn it.
When the suspect failed to follow the officer's order, McMurtry asked him to unbuckle his seatbelt and exit the car. This is when the situation turned violent. Without warning, Bryan pulled a gun and opened repeated fire, striking Officer Sally in the pelvis. Both officers returned fire, hitting Bryan. Sally collapsed at the scene, shouting, "I've been hit."
He's down! He's down!
Beamer!
Hey! Hey!
Where you hit? Beamer! He was in the back of my truck!
No! We need a tourniquet now!
I've been hit.
Jared!
Okay!
Fuck, I got it. You okay?
I'm fine.
Hey!
I'm bleeding a lot.
This is when backup police immediately reached the scene. Sally was rushed to the hospital in stable condition, while Bryan was subdued and also hospitalized. The officer had survived the incident, but in just moments, things could have easily gone south. What happened after this patrol stop left officers speechless, as a routine check spiraled into something unexpected.
3:30 in the morning on August 4th, and officers are conducting a routine traffic stop. What they don't know and are about to discover is that 22-year-old Sean Blomer is tied up and trapped in the trunk of that car.
Stood me up, put a towel around my head.
In August 2012, it was a quiet night in Louisville, Kentucky, when a dashcam captured a horrifying scene. At 3:30 in the morning, officers stopped a car for a routine traffic stop. And the discovery they made was chilling.
By this time, Blomer says he had passed out, but awoke to blue and red flashing lights, which he glimpsed through the crack in a taillight.
And I heard a voice, and I could tell from his inflection or what have you, that he was an officer. He came back and asked about insurance, and that's when I started kicking and punching on the hood, yelling.
The commotion in the trunk.
As an officer approached the car, something felt off. He went on to ask his routine questions. The car had 3 passengers who seemed suspicious. The officer could also hear muffled sounds from the trunk of the car, which raised his doubts even more. On paying attention, he felt as if someone was inside the trunk of the car who was banging it to get out.
Officers then call for backup and individually pull all 3 suspects from the car. Then, with weapons drawn, officers cautiously pop the trunk and find the kidnapped clerk inside.
The trunk was popped. I exposed my hands like the officers asked me to do. They opened up the hood and there was probably 8 or 10 cop cars there.
The officer was alarmed and immediately called for backup. On backup's arrival, the officers pulled out all 3 suspects from the car. When they popped the trunk, what they found was horrific. It was a store clerk who was found bound and gagged.
Probably 8 or 10 cop cars there.
Weeks later, Blomer got to meet the men who may have saved his life as they were honored for their work.
The officers finally freed the clerk, who gasped for air with relief as he recounted the terrifying ordeal. The victim went on to narrate his story that he had been bound and kidnapped after his store was robbed. The victim had passed out, but when the police arrived near the car, he regained consciousness and began banging the trunk so he could be rescued. But what could have happened if the police never stopped this vehicle? This thought adds to the terror of this incident. This fire wreaked havoc in just seconds, forcing officers to flee as the bushfire changed direction in seconds. In January 2020, south of Sydney, Australia, firefighters from Dunmore Rural Fire Brigade were battling to save lives and property. Their dashcam captured a routine operation that took a terrifying twist. As the team worked tirelessly on extinguishing the fire, a sudden and violent shift in wind direction turned their surroundings into a raging inferno. Suddenly, flames roared toward them from the woods at a speed no one could outrun. The dashcam captures this footage as a wild bushfire had erupted from nearby forests. The footage showed the crew fleeing as flames lick at their vehicle as the world outside turned into a vision of hell. With a lot of struggle, all the workers on the scene were able to escape in the fire brigades that were present at the scene. Thankfully, the crew had escaped this horrific fire, but in just a few moments, trees had exploded and embers rained down. A dashcam stood there intact, capturing the scene as the area blew up with intense heat and flames. within minutes. Everything in this area was completely destroyed, which leaves any viewer to wonder how things could have turned out if the crew was not able to escape. What went on during this highway traffic stop left viewers in utter shock.
So here's your car guy. You're suspended.
On January 18th, 2024, Trooper Jesse Gregory was conducting a traffic stop on Interstate 40 in Canadian County, Oklahoma. Everything seemed calm as he spoke to the driver from the passenger side of his patrol car. But this was about to change. The trooper warned the driver to drive carefully and suspended his license. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a black SUV came barreling toward them. With no time to react, the vehicle slammed into the parked car, throwing Trooper Gregory into the grassy area beside the highway.
362 City, I was just hit by a car. Start EMS.
The impact was violent. The dashcam footage showed the horrifying moment as Trooper Gregory was tossed aside, while chaos unfolded in an instant. Fortunately, the trooper had survived this accident with major injuries, but this incident was a very close call. A 130-mile-per-hour chase, a dangerous move, and a risky maneuver. Who would make it out alive? On July 4th, 2022, Trooper Jordan Barker was conducting speed enforcement in Georgia. What his dashcam captured during this routine operation was anything but ordinary. Little did he know, he was about to embark on a high-speed chase that would push his skills to the limit. As the trooper was parked on a roadside, suddenly, a dark BMW blasted past him at over 90 miles per hour. No hesitation, no sign of slowing down. It was clear that this driver wasn't stopping, and this would soon lead to a high patrol chase.
346 on 1080, 1080. Coming back 70, 20 west, correction 20 east, get back on 20, get back on 20. It's gonna be Tom, Frank, George, 9533, Georgia tags, TFG, 9533. On past 962. Right here, get on.
Trooper Barker activated his lights, the driver, identified as Kenneth Ronald Fane, made a dangerous move, exiting off the highway, running a red light, and even driving on the wrong side of the road. The chase was on. With each passing second, Fane seemed determined to elude capture, ignoring the lives he was putting at risk. His reckless driving left nearby vehicles scrambling to avoid collisions, creating a chaotic and high-stakes pursuit. Fane pushed the limits, hitting speeds over 130 miles per hour, weaving through traffic and cutting off innocent drivers. With no way to safely stop him, Trooper Barker had no choice but to execute a risky pit maneuver to end the pursuit.
I'm not mad about going to jail. I'm scared of the police. I'm scared of the police.
Hey, hush.
All my
Hush. What's your name? Where's your ID at?
Kenneth Fane.
Where's your ID at?
All my stuff is in my car.
What you running for? Hold on, wait. You have the right to remain silent, and things you can and will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer, have him or her present before any questioning. If you wish, you can decide at any time to take it, make any statements, or not. Talking to you, talk to an attorney, okay? Yes, sir. You understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
With these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to them?
Yes, sir.
With these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to them?
I will.
What are you running for?
Trooper Barker had no choice but to execute a risky PIT maneuver to end the pursuit. As Fane's car came to a halt, the trooper approached with his weapon drawn. The suspect was questioned and his car was searched. On finding a magazine, marijuana, alcohol, and some other miscellaneous items in his car, the suspect was immediately arrested. In the blink of an eye, a speeding truck turns Christmas Day into a close call for an officer's life. On December 25th, 2022, a Willoughby police officer was helping a motorist on SR2 eastbound when something unexpected happened.
Hang tight!
Out of nowhere, a speeding truck veered out of control, skidding across the icy road straight toward the officer. In an instant, the routine roadside stop turned into a fight for survival. Without hesitation, the officer reacted instinctively, throwing himself onto the median wall, narrowly escaping disaster. The truck, a 2001 Toyota Tundra, didn't slow down. It plowed into the parked police cruiser with a deafening crash, sending metal and debris flying.
16 radio, McMurray's got smashed. We need our unit.
car driver. Slow down!
Both the police cruiser and the truck were left mangled, their frames twisted from the impact. Miraculously, no one was injured, but the scene served as a stark reminder of the dangers officers face every day on the job. The driver, a 63-year-old man, was later cited for failure to control his vehicle. In this incident, a quiet night on the highway shattered in an instant. Glass, smoke, and a collision that no one saw coming.
Get out of the way.
On July 27th, 2018, the Wyoming Department of Public Safety was conducting routine patrols on US 131. For one officer, it seemed like an ordinary night. Calm traffic, clear skies, and a smooth shift ahead. But in the blink of an eye, everything turned chaotic.
Yourself. We are going to set up like this. He's coming right at us right now. Alright, we got him coming at us, dispatch. Watch yourself.
Dashcam footage shows the officer's cruiser driving along the highway. As the officer parks the car for a routine traffic check, a pair of headlights appear in the distance, speeding straight toward them on the wrong side of the road. It takes a moment to realize the terrifying reality. A wrong-way driver was barreling down the highway, out of control.
You alright?
Yep.
2014
Before there's even time to react, the car slams head-on into the cruiser. The impact is violent, sending glass flying in all directions like shrapnel. Smoke pours from the wreckage as the crumpled vehicles grind to a halt, leaving debris scattered across the asphalt.
Copy, got hit head-on. We'll get medical started. Where you at?
54 and 131.
131 and what?
The dashcam captures the chaos in real time. The officer, still inside the cruiser, is stunned but alive. An unbelievable stroke of luck, given the severity of the crash. As backup arrives, officers scramble to secure the scene and check on the driver of the wrong-way vehicle.
54 to 131, he's continuing southbound.
The vehicle continuing southbound.
60 on 2.
Miraculously, no one was fatally injured. But the footage serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly disaster can strike. A moment of distraction led this officer to a crash that could have been deadly. On a routine day in Tulsa, an officer was patrolling the streets in what should have been an uneventful shift. The dashcam rolled quietly, capturing the hum of the road ahead. But no one expected what would happen next. As the footage begins, the officer can be seen glancing down, his focus momentarily shifting to his phone. He was texting while driving, just for a few seconds, but in those seconds, something disastrous unfolded. Out of nowhere, a car swerves across the median and hurtles into the officer's path. There's no time to react, no space to maneuver. The collision is violent, metal crunching against metal as both vehicles come to an abrupt halt.
Sync will attempt to call 911. If you wish to cancel the call, please hold the phone button. A 911 assist call is being placed. Sync will speak first to the 911 operator before...
The dashcam shows the aftermath. Shattered glass, bent steel, and smoke rising from the wreckage. It's a chaotic scene, and while the other driver was ultimately found at fault, this footage shows what could result from the officer's split-second distraction.
Please wait.
You have reached 911 emergency. Please stay on the line.
Thankfully, no lives were lost in this crash, but the incident left a lasting impression. How much of this could have been avoided? And how often do these near-tragic moments happen unnoticed? This crash wasn't just a close call, it was a miracle. But the story of what went wrong, and how it could have ended differently, is one you won't forget. It was an ordinary day in Clearwater, Florida. Clear skies were above, and officers from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office were out on routine patrol. They were responding to a call on North Keene Road, focused on keeping the peace. But just as everything seemed calm, an unexpected sight in the sky would shatter that sense of normalcy. As officers responded to a call, a low rumble filled the air. Dashcam footage captured the shocking sight of a single-engine Rockwell Commander 112 flying dangerously low over the busy road. Without warning, the plane's engine failed. Struggling for control, the pilot veered toward the road. In an incredible display of composure, he managed to crash land the aircraft, narrowly avoiding cars and pedestrians. The dashcam shows the plane skidding to a stop amidst the chaos. Amazingly, both the 61-year-old pilot and his 55-year-old passenger emerged uninjured, but the footage reveals just how close this incident came to becoming a disaster. As deputies approached the scene, it became clear that engine trouble had forced the emergency landing shortly after refueling.